right, how you guys doing today? Good. Hey, I want to say thanks to Tom. I mean, he really stole my whole speech. I wish he would have been for me. But I want to give a special shout out to Elise Hyder. I still have some of my old high school habits, turned my speech in the day before. So appreciate her working with me while I work through this. So as Tom mentioned, my name is Aliou Diouf. Originally from Senegal, West Africa, was born there. Actually immigrated here when I was 7 years old. So, I'm going to share a little bit about my story and also just a little bit about what CYC means to me personally and also to our family as a whole. So basically a little bit of background about my family. My mom came over here in 2000. Yeah, 2001, a little bit, beginning of 2001, and while I was back home. So essentially what happened back home, of course 9/11 happened. So I remember when 9/11 happened, I was with my grandmother watching it on the TV screen. They were talking about, immigration and possibly shut down immigration. I was thinking, would I ever be able to see my mom again, one of those things. So eventually when I came over to the US in 2002, came over in February in New York City. So all I can remember is just, wow, I'm really here in the United States. You hear so much about it, and the opportunity, you work hard to get out of it, and also just the lights of New York. It was so bright. One of the things is like, it's really just the shining star of the world coming here. So I was excited. I remember getting on the Grand and seeing snow for the first time, right? You're seeing snow for the first time, you're excited, you're 7, you don't know English yet, you're coming over to Cincinnati. Now I have the pleasure of seeing snow every year all the way up until April. That's another thing. But coming over, the transition was, as you can imagine, very difficult. Learning a new language, going to a new school, learning new, different ways to talk to people, learning English and all that good stuff. It was a very hard transition. So when you're going to school, you learn English, your math was good, and all this other stuff. You're dealing with kids. You know how kids are. You're always messing with you. I'm different, so they have appetite to mess with me, right? So I'm thinking, okay, I'm already bigger than much of them, so I'm just gonna do like Anthony and just start beating them up. So, when I was going through school, it was a constant battle going through school. Everybody that just said something to me, I was like, okay, I don't really have the skills to get back to them. Yeah, I didn't develop the social skills until later, so I'm like, all right, let's just fight. So we end up fighting all the time, get suspended all the time, missing school a lot, all this other stuff. My mom's smiling because she's remembering those days finally of me coming back home and just being suspended all the time. And because of that, my grades suffered, even though I was a smart kid. So when I was able to go to Dayton High School, I was fortunate that one, it was a school that I had to test into. It really allowed me to show how smart I was. But two, was fortunate enough to get into the CYC program and really have people that guide me and mentor me along the way. Really teach me a different perspective of how to deal with kids within the school, but also the importance of school. I really had nobody to teach me that, right? I go home, my mom couldn't really tell me how to deal with things at school. She didn't go to school here. Started playing sports, started playing football at Dayton. So it was just a truly inspirational event. And then also being in an environment with other like-minded kids where you can talk about, being an NFL star, being a CEO, being an entrepreneur, being a lawyer, and those things aren't ridiculed, those things are empowered. We're around our mentors and they show us other people who come from different backgrounds or same backgrounds as us, and they've become successful in their own rights. And just having that environment where you can be nurtured, where you can be grown, where you can be given advice. I'll share a little story with you. So I think I was sophomore year when I got my first job at McDonald's. Essentially, our coach had already set it up that I was going to get the job, right? So I'm after practice, all sweaty and hot and big. I'm going to, all right, let me just go down, talk to this lady, say I'm not crazy, and then that'll be it. I'll get the job at McDonald's, right? But my mentor snatched me up, gently snatched me up, and took me back home to put on this prom. It was like a prom suit that was like 2 sizes too big or too small at that point. I'm a grown boy just for an interview at McDonald's. I'm like, it's overdoing it. This is McDonald's, It's not. I don't need to have a suit on. But I ended up getting a job. That taught me, just the professionalism of what you really need to have to go to an interview. It prepared me to go to college, where I graduated from Central State University with 2 degrees. And upon graduation, was fortunate enough to have multiple job offers from coast to coast. But was really, I really have a strong inkling to come back to Cincinnati just because it meant so much to me to give back to the city that gave so much to me and my profession and my family, but also to come back and mentor with CYC. If you all don't do anything or take anything out of this today, strongly urge you to become a mentor, just because everyone here in this room has a different path and different story. Everyone can bring something different to a child that really doesn't see another way. So if you all just mentor someone, show them a different way, show them a different path that they can take, it really goes a long ways to make a big difference. And I want to appreciate everyone here in closing. Just want to say appreciate you all for your time, your effort, your donations, your funds. It really goes a long ways to affecting all the children and youth today. So thank you so much. There is one more thing I have to say. I have to steal Tom's thunder today. It is also my mother's birthday. So I just want to say, of course, thank you so much for everything that you do. Thank you for all the sacrifices that you made along the way. Thank you for sticking with me when I was getting all the suspensions and all those fights. And thank you for driving me to all the football games and picking me up all sweaty and hot and all that good stuff. And thank you for everything that you've done for me this far.